Yeah, okay. I guess that means we should get started. So this blanket statement, in general, if you guys have questions, you're welcome to ask them, whether they're about the class or they're about math specifically or about other not math things, totally fine. You can unmute yourself and say words. You can type in the chat. You can use the little kind of the reactions. I always forget about the reactions. You can, which I think they somehow got different. You can use the yes reaction or the no reaction or the raise your hand reaction. Look, I'm raising my hand right now. It's so great. Um, I think they like go away after 10 seconds. Someone was telling me in the new Zoom update. Yeah, just went away. So if you do click on one of those reactions, they will eventually disappear. I think there's a ta-da reaction. Ooh, ta-da. Okay, some of them go away, some of them don't. Yeah. So I go, oh yeah, you do have to lower your hand though. You have to choose that one. You can't just wait for it to go away. I think all the rest of the reactions do eventually just go away, but I think the raising hand one, you have to manually unraise your hand so that this doesn't go away without me seeing it. I like those. They're helpful, especially like when I'm asking a similar question. I think it would be good to use them. So I would encourage everybody to try to get into the habit of maybe giving them a look. I would encourage everyone to use one right now if you wanted to. It could be anyone you wanted. Um, let's see. Everyone's like, no, I'm good. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. So let's go over the class. So actually, let me have everyone raise their hand. Who was in the 17A code class with me last quarter? I guess I could have asked for a yes or a no. Now I'm just like, is everybody not raising their hand? Yeah, let's see. I'm going to change it. Instead of raising your hand, give me a yes if you were, give me a no if you weren't. Cool. Not in the chat, although the chat is also fine. I want you to use the reactions just this one time. Okay. Oh yeah, they go away though. So it's dumb. I was hoping they would persist, but they just kind of blink out. How dumb. Okay. I mean, not dumb, but like how different. Okay. Anyway, so I definitely should go over how the class works. Class is going to work for those of you that were in my code class last quarter, pretty much the same way it worked last quarter, meaning the same sorts of weekly things do and the same kind of way things are going to operate. But let me go over it for everybody because we don't have a whole lot to talk about. I mean, we'll probably start talking about some anti-derivatives, but yeah. So let's share my screens. Of course, I'm going to share my screen. Wouldn't be a class if I didn't share my screen. And I actually don't want this. I want, where'd my Safari go? Where did you go? Sorry, one sec. Oh, there we are. Okay, cool. So. I'm only going to say so a million times this quarter. All right. So first off, this is probably what your dashboard kind of looks like. This is all the classes I have in my Canvas. They'll have the CRNs or whatever, which is not super helpful. So I would say if you haven't already, go ahead and take this class, which I believe is this one here. Let me double check. I've got them all changed up over here. See, Co-17B is 91200. Oh, it's not that one. So there is my Co-17B class. I'm going to change the nickname so it's actually something I recognize because that would be helpful. And I'm going to change the color because that red is a little too bright for me to change the blue and apply. Great. So there, you can do that if you want. Now I actually know what class it is instead of having to remember what the CRN is. Let's click on it here. I'm in the student view right now, or actually I'm signed in as a different person who is a student in the class. So the view I'm showing you is the view you should see when you are in the Canvas page for our class. So really, let's just jump straight to the assignments because that's kind of what you need to know about for at least getting things done. There are essentially two. I'm like, how many? There are 3 things you're graded on. 2 of them are assignments. So the assignment things, which I like to change to being by type. So typically they'll show up this way, just in chronological order. But I like to do it by type so I can see all the reflections first and the quiz a second. The reflections, which are not available currently because you're supposed to wait the week until they're over. So there's reflection 0, it's locked. Let's go ahead and look at it from my perspective so that you guys can actually see what it says. So the reflection is just a place where I'm going to ask you to write some things about your class and about yourself. Reflection 0 is specifically like stuff about yourself. It's pretty much the same as it was last quarter. I did change some of them a little bit so that you get to answer some new questions and not all the same things as last time, especially because I know a lot of you, this is the second thing coming to our code class. So I tried to ask you some different optional questions. But if we look at the next one, because this 0 with 1 is kind of atypical. If we look at the reflection number 1, I'm asking you typically every week to give me a very brief summary of what you did in class that week, a question, and then I always like the jokes. I mean, people sent me some pretty good ones last quarter. And then usually there's a not optional, semi-personal kind of question, like, I think this one I did leave the same as if you have any siblings. So yeah, every week I will expect you to do that. It's typically, they're going to be available on, let's see, I think every Thursday they'll become available, and I think they are due. Let's take a look. When is this due? So let's see, it's available on the 14th. Well, that seems like not as long as I meant for them to be available. I guess that's quite, I mean, that seems, I guess, semi-reasonable. If you guys think that's unreasonable, you can let me know. So they become available Thursday at midnight, and they're due the following Friday by 11:59 p.m. That's 2 whole days to do it. It's not that much. I think you guys can give me a 2-sentence summary and a math question in 2 days. I think that should be okay. If for some reason it's not, let me know. Also, I'm pretty sure you can do the reflections late and it's not a big deal. The reason I want you to do the reflections, I mean, 1, it gets you to think about what's going on in class, but 2, it really lets me know what you guys are doing in class. Yes, I'm also probably going to be attending the class most weekdays, so I will also know what's going on, but it'll let me know what you guys think is important and have questions about. So those are the reflections, pretty much the same as last quarter. I guess a slightly shorter window. I was also trying to make it so you didn't have to do them over the weekend. And then the quizzes, I think, are available over the weekend. So like quiz number 1 is going to be, so it's going to open in Gradescope just like it did last quarter. So when there is a quiz there, which there isn't currently, but when there's a quiz, it'll be available via PDF. I think it's going to, yeah, so the quiz will be, right there in the blank space here, right below this. And there'll be a PDF, and you'll write your answers down somewhere, you'll upload them to Gradescope, where there isn't a spot to do that yet. And I think, let me look at the details of this. This is supposed to, whoops, that's not the details of that. Let's go back. So the quizzes will typically be available. Let's see, this first quiz is, let's see, due January 18th, which is in 2 weeks. So I think they're going to be available like on Thursday or Friday, or honestly, when I get them posted up, which will try to be Thursday or Friday, and they'll be due the following Monday. And just like last quarter, you get full credit for doing the quiz. Just try your best. And then I will grade them, give you feedback, and I will also most likely post solutions. So the point of the quiz is just to give you an opportunity, a weekly opportunity, to get graded feedback on your work. But as long as you do it, you'll get all the credit for doing it. And then lastly, attendance. So if attendance is going to be an issue for you, let me know. We can work something out, like where you watch the videos of class later, and I think there's some way I can see that you've done that. Because I do want everybody who's taking the class to be able to pass the class. The way the grades will break down in the syllabus here is that 25% of your grade is based on doing the weekly reflections, 25% is just doing the quizzes to the best of your ability, but you could literally like not do very well on any of them and still get 100% from doing them. And then 50% of your grade is based on just coming to class. And a passing grade is 75%. So as long as you do most of the things all right, you'll be fine. Again, even if you don't pass the class, it's only a workload class. It doesn't affect your GPA at all. So it's all gravy. Nothing bad's going to happen if you don't pass this class. I should say, that's not necessarily true. you might not meet your minimum progress if this is like the class is getting you to 12 units for the quarter. So that is one possible concern. Everyone should pass. As long as you do the things, it's gonna be fine. Let's see, what else did I want to say about the code class? So I should say, full stop. Those are the things you have to do each week. The reflections, the quizzes, and then I will take care of taking attendance. What else do we want to know? I guess the other thing so a couple of things actually. One, the modules. So there's not a lot in the modules right now because I haven't taught Co-17B in quite a while. I think since they start using a new textbook. So I don't really have any ahead of time material. The one thing I did have, which I thought you guys might find useful, is if you don't have the textbook, here are chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the textbook that you are certainly welcome to do whatever you want with. But yeah, that's all I really have in the modules. I will be recording the classes. This class is being recorded right now. I'll probably edit this part out, or maybe I'll edit into a different video that's more like class information stuff. So yeah, maybe I'll post up 2 videos after class today, one with the information and the other one with the actual math we do. And those all just get put right here in chronological order. When I do write a quiz, I'll put it here as in addition to in the assignment quiz spot. And then eventually I'll put the solutions here as well. And then I'll try to come up with some exam prep material for Karana's class. But I think she also did a pretty good job of giving you guys prep material. So I might kind of not copy what she does exactly, but use her exam prep material as inspiration to write other material for you guys. And then the next thing, maybe the last thing, is the discussion. So last quarter, I tried to make discussions kind of happen, and they didn't really happen. This quarter, so I know I've said send me your questions and reflections, and you certainly should do that. But if you want to, and I encourage you to, if you have a specific math question, like not just like, can you talk about this, but like if you say like this question where I'm trying to find the integral of 1/1 plus x squared plus sine of x, for example, if that was an actual question you had, instead of writing in your weekly reflection, you could say, hey, James, I wrote my question in a discussion. You can write it here in a discussion, and then I could answer it, and everyone, or another student could also answer it, and everyone could see the answer. So I really, really think that would be a good way for us to try to communicate with each other, so that if one person has a question, everyone else can kind of have the benefit of seeing where it goes. So just for example, right, here's the question, right here, whoops, you can spell, yes I can, right here, we can all write our questions. And I usually do a pretty decent job of responding to them relatively rapidly, and get answers for everybody to see. I know it's silly that I'm writing and typing, but the nice thing about this, so I will say, for those of you that did have me, some of you definitely had me give you fairly lengthy answers to your questions in the reflections. I do typically respond to everyone's reflections each week. But the cool thing about writing your questions here is I can use math type much more easily. So I can actually write nice looking math. I can write, here is some math. And then I can do this. Where is the math thing? It's like, not, I've said there's math and now like it's disappeared. Did they really steal my math away from me? That would be awful. Sorry, guys. I'm like figuring something out while I'm trying to teach class. Tools. Maybe it's under tools. No. Insert. Is it insert? Yeah, it's insert. Okay, cool. So I can insert an equation and like I can write all the stuff. So for example, and let's do advanced because advanced is definitely the way to go. We can say the integral of x squared dx is equal to subtract over 3 plus c. There we go. And then I can actually write something nice for you all instead of writing the janky looking stuff I would try to write in reflection. Oh, that looks kind of terrible though. So we can fix this. Not that you guys really care, I know, but it's kind of fun to learn how to make this stuff look nice. Kind of fun being, maybe not quite right. If you want something to look nicer, you can put it in a slash display style. If you don't care about this at all, really don't worry about it. I just want to make my integral look a little bit nicer. So there. Cool. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I will say one more time. I really, really, really encourage you, if you have math questions, to ask them in discussion, because I can respond and other students can respond, but I can respond using nice math type as opposed to not having that ability in a reflection question. So I would encourage everybody to be willing to write in discussion. You can either, I spelled the question wrong, that's terrible. You can either, I don't know if I can fix it either, that's terrible too. Sorry, I just feel I can't leave that alone. You are certainly welcome to write more questions here, or you can start a brand new discussion on your own. I think you have the ability, I think everyone should have the ability to start the discussion. I don't think I've limited your ability to do that. Yeah, if for some reason I have, yeah, students can create discussion topics, edit and delete their own posts, attach comments. Cool. So yes, you guys can definitely start a discussion and say, James, I have a question, or everybody, I have a question. And I know I've said it like 5 times already. I'm gonna say it one more time. I really encourage you all to try and use this. I think it would be super duper useful, especially considering that this section is for one particular class. That means everybody's in Burke's class, which means we're all seeing the same kind of stuff. So almost all the things that get posted in the discussion should be fairly pertinent to everyone in the co-class. So yeah, all right, I'll get off my soapbox now, but I'm gonna remind you guys in future classes, hey, there's discussion, you should use them. I think that's kind of it. So I guess I should. Yeah, I mean, if you have questions, you're certainly welcome to email me, ask them, write them in the chat. Wait, this class is only for, yeah. So this class, I shouldn't say it's only for Burke's class, but it is definitely dedicated to Burke's class, meaning you're certainly welcome to attend if you're not in Burke's class. However, I am going to be specifically following what Burke is doing. And so I might not do all the things your professor is doing. That said, there are, I believe, and I'm going to verify this. So what I'll do this afternoon is I'll verify what the other options are. I'm fairly sure there is another class at this time being taught by Grant. I don't remember which professors he said he was going to be following, but I believe he said, let's take a look at who's teaching while we're talking about it. So let's go to math. Yeah, let's go and see who else is teaching the class. There's a lot of 17B classes, so yeah, right, there's Varn, there's Lee, there's Burke, there's Varn again, there's Kapovich, no, there's, sorry, not Kapovich. So I believe Grant said he was going to be there for the Varn and Lee people, but I could be mistaken, right? I know we talked about this, me and the other math specialists, but I don't honestly remember what we actually ended up finally deciding. So I'll double check, and then I will post something on. In fact, let me grab myself a note so I don't forget. Got like a million notes up here. That's all right. Co-17B Grant. Claire. I believe Claire's class, which definitely means at a different time, is full, I believe. I feel like there's room in Grant's class, so we can figure that out. But yeah, so I want to say Barnita, if you want to switch into the other class, assuming that there actually is one, that is certainly an option for you. But you're also welcome to stay here. I'll just say that the other class will be better focused on what your teacher is doing as opposed to this class, which is certainly going to be all Burke all the time. Do you guys have other questions? I think I can stop sharing. Other questions? I suppose I should say other non-math questions. Okay. I have a question. Oh, so I will also notice or point out, I did notice that Burke's office hours, 3 out of 4 of them are during this class time, which is unfortunate, right? I don't want you guys to miss the opportunity to attend her office hours. So if you want to attend her office hours, that's totally fine. I guess the expectation will be that you should watch the class video if you are missing class to attend. I mean, if you're missing class at all, you should watch the class video. But especially if you, like, I know I want to go to class, James, but I also want to go see her in office hours to ask her a question. You're certainly welcome to come in late or leave a little early if you want to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had coordinated better with her about the timing of things. I feel like maybe I could. I don't know, she probably wants to have them right after class. It's kind of a good time because students are like, "Oh yeah, we just talked about this. I have questions." So yeah, you're certainly welcome to go to her office hours if you need to. You're certainly welcome to come to class a little late or leave a little early or take a break in the middle. That's a lot of talking. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to ask. So I'm going to pin my video here because yeah, where is the pinning? There it is. So we can talk about some math. So how does my video look? Is that, I was having blur issues earlier today. Does that look blurry at all to anybody? Can everybody see that okay?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but last quarter, it did have the days where it was super blurry.
Yeah. It might have been that I hadn't updated Zoom yet, which I did after that class. So, but what I should just say in general, if you notice things looking not fine, let me know right away. And usually people will, right? Because like, James, I can't see. Yeah, definitely let me know if there are issues. All right.